Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of almost all ages, with parental consent, the Sick Twisted Minds at Sacrificial Pawn Productions brings you a new style horror film, like nothing you have seen before. There are no cops, no investigations. There is no backstory, no follow-up of the victims who were brutally tortured and murdered. Our story isn't about them. Normal Terror is about a single dad struggling to make ends meet. His son is his first priority. He goes to work, pays his bills, and is generally a great dad. The twist comes after he puts his son to bed. This is where he releases his stress. Some people do yoga, some hit the gym, some go for runs, some people paint on a canvas. An anonymous source once wrote on an abandoned asylum wall, "I never understood people until I took one apart just to see how it worked." If you are rear-ended in traffic, most people's thought runs to anger and their primal instincts of hurting the other party. Sam Neill does not have the ability to stop that primal instinct. Let us take you into the mind of a killer. Normal Terror is a concept from the mind of Sam Mason, who wrote, directed, produced, and is starring in this new age feature film.
Let's get slicing and dicing with Sir Sturdy horror fans. On this podcast, you will hear me and a guest do some movie reviews, random funny horror chats, and whatever else comes to mind. So tune in, kick back, relax, and always remember, I'll see you in your nightmares.
Well, just Jason's mask.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Horror with Sir Sturdy. Today I have my cousin again with me, my awesome guest, Jarrod. Jarrod, what's good?
Hey, what's up?
And we did the movie Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. Getting a little horror on, little slash, little cut, pumpkin carving and shit. And this is actually, if I'm not mistaken, you said that this is actually your favorite Halloween movie out of the whole franchise, correct?
That's true.
Now, this is one of, and you already know how I am. I don't judge anybody on what horror movies they like or love or what's their favorites, but you know that this is like one of the least popular out of the whole franchise.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say for obvious reasons because I don't think it's a bad movie, but just the way the story is, how it kind of jumbles around, it's kind of different from everything else. Is that what drew you to this one compared to the other ones?
I'm not sure. I think it was basically just the whole idea of the curse of Michael Myers when Tommy Doyle starts going into all that ancient druid and magic, astronomy and stuff.
Okay, and so you were always kind of into the different shit as far as like the ancient shit and the fucking I'm trying to think like just the mythology behind the stuff, if that's the right word to use. If it's not, fuck it, I don't care. I'm not a professional at any of that shit. But like you were always into like that kind of different shit, just where it's like not different like weird like bad, but different like out there kind of shit where it really works, where it really messes with your mind or makes your mind kind of think like twisted, just different shit.
Yeah.
For the story, is that what drew you to it too, or?
I think so, and I think I like the part where in the beginning where you see the baby and he has that curse mark on him.
Yeah.
It's the same curse mark as Michael Myers.
On his wrist, the thorn.
Michael Myers has it on his wrist, and then the baby had it on his stomach.
In blood.
Yeah.
And Tommy Doyle, at one part of the movie, was saying how that's in the stars. It comes up in the stars.
Yeah, and
every Halloween, and then he comes, and he was like, what did he say? Coincidence? I think not, or some shit in the movie. But that fucking the computer in that movie,
so old.
That computer was trash. I mean, back in the day, it was probably it was a good computer, but nowadays you couldn't do shit with that.
Word.
Take all day to try to boot something up, put a floppy disk in there to play fucking Pac-Man or some dumb shit. I don't even know. I don't even think Pac-Man was on the computer, people.
I was surprised the computer was able to do all that it did.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta think of back then too, though. That was like the max level it can go to. Like you ain't gonna be able to check your Facebook and shit on there. You ain't gonna
Right.
be able to listen to Horror Search 30 podcasts on that old ass computer. But you can listen to it on your phones, on your tablets, in your car, in your home, at work. Pop that shit on. You can listen to it on YouTube. Any platform where you can listen to a podcast, for the most part, you can hear me. I'm not on SoundCloud, but all the other ones I should be on there. So yeah, go check out Horror Research 30. Putting that plug in there a little early. Okay, so back to the movie. Um, what was I gonna say? What did you think about the other people involved in this movie? Like the guy that was in black, I forgot his name, and like his little team.
Um, in the beginning, also they said someone was controlling Michael.
Yeah,
So I think, well, it's obviously them,
yeah.
the people in black, and then
But what did you think of that though? Did you like that part of it, or
I don't really like that concept. I like, I don't know.
I think you know what made that concept a little bit better in my opinion at least is like I don't mind the guy like the mystery because he was a mystery at first. You find out that this guy that Loomis knows that he was talking to the beginning, all that shit.
Right.
But it would be better if it was like kind of a mystery guy with the voice, and you only seen him like dressed in black. You never seen his face and kind of just heard the voice kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe him and Michael had a clash at the end, if anything, if they had to add something like that. But I don't think it should have been the way that it was because it was like it seemed like it was the guy, and he was like a doctor, and it just seemed like a bunch of rich people in a sense. Maybe they were all doctors because remember he was like it's not Halloween anymore, so you can take your costumes off. Talking to those guys, I'm just like that was kind of I didn't like that part.
Yeah.
It kind of ruined it, but I don't know. I kind of do like the idea, like how you were saying with the whole mythological shit or whatever you want to call it. I kind of like that, and it because it makes sense. Like, say if that's where it so let's just say, for example, if they added like he was born on this certain date, and everybody born on this certain date had this, and maybe say there was like 6 people or whatever, and the reason why Michael goes after certain ones is because they have this, but they're not evil like he is. He's just trying to destroy them all.
Right.
Maybe that would have been cool, or the same concept in this movie, pull Michael Myers out of it, similar to Season of the Witch, and just make it a whole different movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even if you keep the Halloween title, like how they had Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, keep this Halloween, but a different, a little bit different with the story. Maybe I don't know.
Right.
I didn't hate this one though, like a lot of people do. I enjoyed it. I always have fun with these Halloween movies. It's not one of my favorites, but you guys won't know what my favorite is until we do a countdown on this stuff. But it's like I don't even know if it's in the middle of the pack. I'd have to watch the whole shit to see.
Yeah.
Including the new one.
I just wish Halloween followed like one story, but it fucking jumps around
So much.
Kind of.
Well, what I think we've discussed this before. Maybe not on air, but on the podcast because I'm not on live on air. But anyway, not on the podcast. But I think other times we've discussed this. The way that they originally did it was like the first two. Those were supposed to go together or whatever, and then Season of the Witch was supposed to be like the way they wanted to do it was every year make a new Halloween movie with that same title, but just a whole different story.
Oh, okay.
But Season of the Witch, I guess, back in when it came out and all that, it did so bad, and the first two were so popular. People loved the Michael Myers thing, which I'm glad that it went that way with the Michael Myers thing. Else we'd never had that,
Right.
which is a great slasher, a cool slasher, and all that. But I do like the idea of a movie called Halloween or whatever, or even if they call it like the Night of Halloween or the Curse of Halloween, let's say,
Yeah.
and the Curse of Halloween, which actually would be pretty dope. Anyway, if every year on Halloween or around Halloween, this month we're in October. Say the last weekend in October, for example, it came out with a new horror movie, The Curse of Halloween, and it was just different scary movies. Even if it didn't hit theaters, even if it was just like a Netflix thing or Hulu thing. If you guys hear me, just do it. But anyway, like a Netflix, Hulu, and say like 1 year was like a paranormal type of movie, 1 year was a slasher, 1 year was this, 1 year was that. And I'm not gonna say it has to, but maybe somehow each movie has like a little thing. Each movie from the first one all the way up to say part 4. There's like something that's in each movie. You know what I mean? Like the Thorn.
Yeah.
That would have worked. I'm not saying it would be perfect, but say the whole Thorn thing. Like say if they never explained it or they just kind of brushed on it in each one.
Yeah.
And they looked back on it in each one too. Like there was like a throwback to it.
Right.
I'm just using that as an example, but it doesn't have to be the thorn. But say like the thorn was in each one, and maybe let's say if it's a paranormal movie with like ghosts and shit that's killing shit, maybe the ghost or whatever has the thorn on it. Maybe if there's a slasher one, that person who's killing has the thorn on them or whatever. Just throwing some ideas out there.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. So what's your take though on this movie? Like,
My overall take.
not as far as ratings. I don't want to get there yet because we kind of just started. But as like as far as like just I guess the story. Like we have the movie playing around in silent right now, and the part that it's at, it's actually close to the end. Tommy's in the hospital with the girl. Jason or Michael's killing a bunch of people. And matter of fact, here's what I want to discuss. Now, how come damn near every freaking horror movie you see in a hospital scene, it's dark. Nobody's there really. I mean, this one right here had like the most people in it, but they were like after some crazy shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they were not after some crazy shit, but they were working with the one guy doing some crazy shit. So they're kind of like a team. That's the only reason why these motherfuckers was there.
Right.
But other than that, every other horror movie you see, for the most part, that I can think of, in the hospital scene, there's like two people working. There's somebody. Sometimes there's somebody at the desk answering phones, and there's like one nurse, and that's it. And the hospital is fucking. There's like and it's crazy because there's always an emergency going where somebody got stabbed up. They're going to the hospital, and like
Well, this is the part where Michael Myers kind of picks up the pace a little bit.
yeah,
See him? He starts to run. When they're running through the hallway.
he was probably rocking some Nikes.
Word.
But but yeah, like every freaking horror movie though, yo, you don't see. And I'm like, I've been to hospitals plenty of times, for whatever reason the case. It's not important why we were there, but have you ever been to a hospital and seen just two people there in the whole fucking hospital? You see
No.
two people working, and another thing, you see no other patients.
Yeah.
So you got a hospital with 6 lights working, 2 people working, and no other patients. And that right there doesn't steer you to like, maybe I should leave this place because this doesn't seem like the right hospital to me.
Yeah.
Like these niggas didn't pay their bills. They obviously don't pay their employees, so they just left. Something. This hospital run down. It's. I mean, I get it to an extent because I get the whole scary feel. But you can have a whole hospital being in whatever the ER, the ICU, whatever unit, and still kind of have it scary without it being empty.
I just noticed this isn't a hospital; it's a sanitarium,
What the fuck is a sanitarium?
like an
explain.
asylum.
Still though,
It is still a hospital.
it's still a hospital. It's just a different type, and there's still more than 6 people
Yeah.
in those type of hospitals. They're still full.
Yeah.
So, again, we're at you're right. Is this now? My other question to you, which we don't know, we didn't do any research on this, but is this like where he was when he was you know what I mean?
I think when he was hidden away, this is where he was in the beginning.
Of the first one, right? The original. Remember how he was in the asylum in the original one, then he broke out?
I don't remember.
It's in the beginning. Remember when he steals the car?
Oh yeah.
That part.
I don't know if that's the same place.
I don't. That's what I'm thinking too, because it wouldn't. Well, that you would think it would be that, but then again, like this one goes so far off the story. Like he doesn't go to his house much in this one either. He went to his house 2 times.
Yeah.
I thought. Well, I feel as remember when Dr. Loomis is like, I know where he's going, and then he brings them here. They go to this asylum or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't it be to his house?
I don't know. That's where I thought it would be too.
It would have made more sense. I don't know. Like
Because he grew up in this sanitarium, though.
I guess, but still, like why then? If that's the case, then why does he always go back to his house? Like he leaves this place in the original, go back to his house to kill Laurie Strode, and then he just I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't know.
Another thing is like, how does he know? Like because it's the whole bloodline thing as far as this story goes. Like he killed the girl, this little baby's mother,
Right.
to cut off the bloodline, and then he wants to kill the baby that he's going after, pretty much to cut off that bloodline, I guess. How does he know this if he's been locked up for so long? He hasn't been around anybody as far as his family goes for so long that it's just.
I don't know.
I don't know. I get it. It's just a movie, people. I know everybody. Oh, it's just a movie. They don't have to explain everything, but certain details with certain movies like this, especially, I feel if you put those little minor details in there, it can make that movie so much better.
Right.
Like I don't care how he can survive gunshots and all that. That doesn't bother me at all. As crazy as that may sound, I don't care if he can get hit in the head with a bar 76 times and get up 86 times. That doesn't bother me. But there's like little things. It's like, how does he know where this shit is? I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
It
but
must be like some sort of
telepathic type of shit or something.
telepathy or something. Yeah.
That's an interesting take on it. That's a pretty interesting take on it. She should have kicked him in the nuts at this part right here, where he's choking her on the table. That's another thing. How come these people are always getting killed, chased by these slashers? They never kick anybody in the dick. That's the first thing I'm doing. I'm not trying to square up and fight these dudes. I'm gonna kick you square in the nuts. And if he goes down, I'm running. If he don't, I guess I'm dead. But at least I tried.
Right, you tried something.
Yeah, because I look at it like that. You see the dude get hit in the head with a bar. You hit him in the head with a bar. He fell down the stairs earlier in the movie. You hit him in the head with the fire poker. He falls down the stairs. He's out for a couple minutes, and he gets up. Chases you again. He got shot in the chest with that the gun thing. I don't know if it was like a gun, but remember
That was like a shotgun or some shit.
No, it wasn't a shotgun.
No.
It was just like maybe even if it was a stun gun. I don't know what it was.
I don't know.
Because the guy stuck it through the bars and shot him, and he just like flew back.
Yeah.
And he gets up from that.
He got up from being tranquilized too.
Yeah.
In this one.
He did. He stabbed him like 5 or 6 needles at first, and stabbed him with the one in the back. Started beating him with the bar. Like right now, he's just beating him with that bar.
Right.
So this nigga's a survivor, I guess, like Destiny's Child. That's why he's still alive.
Tommy Doyle.
No, not Tommy Doyle. I'm talking about Michael.
Oh.
He listens to Destiny's Child. I'm a survivor. Every single time he's about to go out, even though he was this movie's older than that song, but I feel that's how he gets around. I'm a survivor. You know that song.
I used to be obsessed with Destiny's Child. I used to have their album.
I believe it. I don't. Yeah, we're going off on a little tangent, but that's what happens on this Horror with Search 30 podcast. Which I told you I'm going to that con next weekend, man. I can't fucking wait.
Word, I feel you.
But
I think it's cool though. Like you get to go and enjoy yourself for the weekend and meet horror movie
people, actors.
What are actors? Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, and the cool thing about it too, yo, is like, cause I'm trying to think. You've heard of like the Comic Cons and all this shit.
Yeah.
And I like that the horror stuff is finally getting the recognition it deserves. I know there's been horror cons for years. I didn't know about them for years. But I mean, I feel like nowadays it's getting more and more popular to that. It might not be the most popular. In my opinion, it's the best genre of all. But it might not be the most popular genre.
Right.
But it's definitely getting there. And I wouldn't. It's one of those things where you don't want it to be like. You kind of want it to be the most popular in a sense to where they'll make more dope shit, but then you don't want it to be the most popular because then they're oversaturated and start making a lot of corny shit too.
Yeah.
It's like in the middle, kind of, sort of. Like it. I like the thing I like about horror in a sense too. And now I could be wrong about this, but I like how horror is kind of like the outcast of everything else. Like I like being the outcast in a sense of that, versus being like the most popular, the top. No, because that eventually will. Once you're at top, the only place you have to go is down. But with horror, like when it's like in the middle, or kind of like, you like horror movies? Yeah, nigga, I love horror movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, horror movies are definitely the best to watch, I think, because you're not bored and you're always looking for like the little suspense thrillers in the movie, and you never know what's gonna pop out at you.
Exactly. And it's like, and even if you do, you still watch it. Like, you could be like, okay, well, because you know how I am with a horror movie. I'm like, all right, this is about to happen right here. Even if I haven't seen the movie before, like, all right, this motherfucker's about to jump out, like, right here. And you're still going to watch the movie.
Yeah.
I can tell you, for a lot of horror fans, I don't know if I can speak for you specifically, which you can answer this, which I've said this on plenty of fucking podcasts. I'm going to say it on plenty of more. I can say, listen, matter of fact, where's that magazine at? Hang on 1 second. That Shark magazine I was just looking at earlier. Here it is. Okay, I just mentioned this on my last podcast with my boy Matt. Shout out to Matt. Shark Movie Mania, right? A bloody history of cinema, which this shit does look cool.
Mm-hmm.
Greatest killing machines. I'm just gonna... Boom. There's a shark movie in here called Cyclone. I would watch that. I have no idea what it's about. I just know it's a killer shark. I'd watch that.
Mm.
And I know you would.
Interesting.
Yeah, see what I mean?
Yeah.
Shark Attack 3, Megalodon.
Is Jaws one of those?
I'm sure it's in here, but that's like one of the big name ones.
Yeah, Jaws was actually good.
That right there was an excellent fucking movie. Jaws.
Yeah.
And it was just avalanche sharks. I'd watch that.
Right.
Ice sharks. I'd watch that. It's probably shitty as shit, but I'd watch it. I was just talking to my friend yesterday, which, again, people are gonna hear this on the podcast. When we were recording last night, I was like, the funny thing and the thing I love about horror is there could be a movie called The Dog Shit Killer. It could be killer dog shit.
Yeah.
And you'll still want to, even if it's not a good movie, you'll watch it at least one time just to say you watched it.
Just because of the title.
Yeah, bone right there.
Right.
There's a movie called Alien Tampon. I want to find it and watch it.
Wow.
Just because of the fucking title.
That's crazy.
And you know I would watch it. If it's really out there and if I can find it, I'm going to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I guess there's a movie, I don't know what it's called, but it's about I think it's called Killer Turds in Outer Space or some shit. My boy was telling me yesterday. Matt was telling me yesterday about this, and I was like, if I could find it, I would fucking watch it. There's a movie called Rubber, no, not about condoms. It's about a fucking a killer tire.
Yeah, I saw that on your Facebook.
I would watch that. I want to watch that.
That looks crazy.
So it's like, fucking, I don't know, man. Like with horror, like I said, I'll watch any horror movie and just fucking dissect it. Did you get a chance to watch the Normal Terror trailer?
No, I didn't.
No? I'm gonna pause this real quick, alright?
Alright.
I'm gonna show you this Normal Terror trailer. It's only 2 minutes long, ladies and gents, so just sit tight. Don't fright. And give me 1 second. But it's my guy Sam Mason. So shout out to my guy Sam Mason. Shout out to the Sacrificial Palm Productions. Shout out to Normal Terror. Definitely check this out because it's gonna be dope. And I'm just waiting for it to play.
Doesn't look like it wants to.
Oh, here we go. All right. Maybe it doesn't want to. Well, the trailer's dope. I promise you that. I was hoping I can show you this trailer, but let me see if I can find it on my phone. You want to just talk for a minute while I look this up?
I don't know what to talk about.
Anything horror related. What are you expecting from the new Halloween movie?
I'm expecting good things. I've heard good things about it already through people on Facebook.
Oh, here we go.
Marion. Yeah?
It's kind of slow, though. The video's going slow as shit. So, next best thing. But yeah, go ahead. You were saying you're expecting some good things from it?
Yeah. Not only my own expectations, but others around me who haven't seen it yet. They really want to see it, and those who have seen it say it's really good, so I'm hoping for the best.
I'm with you on that. Like, I've been hearing seeing mixed reviews online about it, but you can't really go by that because you got to just go by your own experiences with stuff like that. Because, some people are positive, some people are negative about stuff like that. So just, all right, I'm going to try this trailer again, people. Bear with me. Watching it from the phone now because the computer wasn't working right for us. You see it?
Yeah. Looks gruesome.
It is. That's my guy Sam right there, the main character.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're my ride, bud. Come on in. Everything okay? Put on your seatbelt.
Please let me go. Please.
It's his real son in the movie with him too,
Wow.
which makes it's kind of cool, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just die!
Well, that was the trailer for Normal Terror, and you can all check it out. You go to my Facebook page, and if you go into the Facebook group of Horror with Surge 30, go into search, type in Sam Mason's name, and you'll see the post of Normal Terror on there. Check out that 2-minute trailer. I enjoyed it, and as I've said before, and I'm going to say it again, I know more about this movie than a lot of other people do because he sent me some stuff that I cannot divulge with anybody, and I'm not going to divulge that with anybody, but I'm expecting some good things with that. What you think about the trailer from what you've seen?
Like I said, it looks gruesome, and it looks like a lot of fun. Like, I don't know what you've seen, and you can't discuss it, but
Well,
for a trailer, it's good.
yeah, I didn't see. It's just what I've seen as far as what I've got to read, I should say.
Oh, okay.
But like, basically the movie, and anytime that I, shout this trailer out, I'm gonna kind of give a bit description that I can. That was kind of in the intro of my podcast. It's a guy, a father. He's a single father.
Mm-hmm.
He works his 9 to 5, regular 9 to 5 job. He takes care of his kids.
Right.
And then, like, he just has, like, we all have the instinct of, like, rage,
Mm-hmm.
and we turn it off.
Right.
He doesn't turn his off. You see from the trailer that he's, like, doing brutal kills. And the cool thing about this, too, is, for one, go to the Normal Terror page, check it out. Check out the Sacrificial Pawn Production, check that out, because they do, like, a lot of practical effects.
Mm-hmm.
Like, none of that CGI shit, a lot of practical effects, like the old 80s movies and some of the newer ones that still do it. And they show in some of, I believe on the Normal Terror page, they were showing, like, they were doing, like, short videos and, like, pictures and shit of, like, the casting that they were doing to, like, cut through and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like, the body casting, all that, which is, I thought it's fucking cool as hell, which I've mentioned this before, I'm going to mention it again, and I'm going to mention it plenty more times. It's fucking cool because with the body, with that type of stuff as, like, a fan, like, I like watching the behind-the-scenes shit as a fan,
Mm-hmm.
and when you get to see that kind of stuff, it's like, oh, so that's how they did that. That's even cooler because they've worked that hard on just making this, say, like this prosthetic arm, for
Right.
example, that they wanted to chop off or break up in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And they take all this time to go through that just to destroy it in a sense. But it's so fucking cool at the
Right.
same time. Like, you always want to see that, especially, even when I was younger, like as a kid, I always wanted to know, like, how does this stuff work? Like, that's so cool. How did they do this scene and that scene?
Right.
And it's fucking amazing. So, big shout out to Sam Mason. Big shout out to his whole team, Steve Cipher. Steve! Big shout out to Normal Terror, Sacrificial Pawn Productions. Keep up that great fucking work, you guys. I cannot wait for this fucking movie to drop. And I want to be the interview again when you guys get this movie out there. And any other time you guys want to come on here, you're more than welcome. So, let's see, what else we got about this Halloween 6 movie. Yeah, like I said, it wasn't one of my favorites. It may be middle of the pack for me. I'm not 100% sure yet. I have to watch all of them and line them up again. But if I had to choose a favorite as of right this second, from what I can remember, I think if it's not the original, which this is gonna piss a lot of people off, it's either the original or the first one from what Rob Zombie did. But I think the original might have it by an edge. Again, I have to go through like the whole thing again and watch them again. I already know Halloween Resurrection and Halloween 2 from the Rob Zombie remake are my least favorite two by far. So those aren't even that's gonna be, I don't know how many movies there are, 8 or 9? So there'll be 8, 9, or 9, 10, whatever. They're gonna be last. Those two. I don't know which one's the worst.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah. So I know your first favorite's this one. What's your least favorite that you can remember? Did you see Resurrection? With Busta Rhymes and Tyra Banks?
Yeah.
That silly ass shit.
That shit was crazy. I think my least favorite would be Rob Zombie #2.
Yo, see, that was just
It was like a waste of time.
you could take a #2 on that damn movie. That's how bad that shit was. Some of the kills in it were good, obviously, but just the whole. I don't fucking remember how the movie goes. I think I only watched it once or twice.
Yeah, they had the whole thing with the white horse. And
Yeah.
I just didn't think it made sense or went with the movie at all.
It didn't. Especially because I feel he did so good with the first one that he did. And I mean, I know a lot of people don't like the first one. A big reason was because of how, like, excuse me, how they how they showed like the childhood of Michael Myers.
Yeah.
You know, kind of gave more of a backstory. Some people, which I like, but I also understand the whole thing of how people like they just like how he was just a killer for no reason type of deal. They just didn't. You don't know why he's doing it. He's just doing it because it makes it scarier, which I get too, because that does make sense. So I'm cool with either one. I'm cool with either story that way. But yeah, and yeah, so I get that. I like that. And with part 6, again, I feel why it's not like up on my list higher as far as I don't know where it is on my list, but why it's not on my list higher is because of the way the story's so different, so out there.
It's like jumpy, right?
Yeah, and it doesn't really go with. I mean, it's cool how they brought the guy to play Tommy Doyle as an adult. That was kind of cool. But I feel I would have enjoyed it more if they kind of stuck with the story.
Yeah, me too.
But
it's my favorite one.
But it's your favorite one. Yeah, it's one. It's everybody has their favorites of shit. You know, like I'll give you an example. Friday the 13th Part 5. It was like in the middle for me, in the middle of my list, and a lot of people were up and down about that movie because technically Jason. Well, there is no technical about it. Jason's not in it. There's a copycat killer in it.
Oh.
And it's just a little. It's different, but it still has the cool kills. It still kind of follows the storyline though, in a sense.
Right.
But it's just that Jason's, which is obviously that's a big part that he's not in it. But the guy that's the copycat is wearing the mask and all that other good stuff.
Yeah.
So it was a fun movie, but you know, it's for another time. So, excuse me. Shit. I guess we can just kind of jump into ratings and a little bit of other random horror discussion. We can wrap it up after that. So, what would you rate this movie?
10.
He didn't even let me finish the damn question, but he's going to give it a 10.
10 knives. Butcher knives.
10 knives. I'm going to have to give this one, let's see, carry the 1, subtract the 2. I'm going to give it a 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 6. And like I said, just because with this, I just wish I wish it flowed and followed the story more from part 1 and part 2. And I know part 4 and 5 kind of changed it up some, but even from 4 and 5, because this one was just like a whole new. Hey, you know, it happens. I get it, but it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't bad. It was fun, but it's just, I don't know. It wasn't one of my favorites. It wasn't me. You know,
Yeah.
it's cool though. So okay, I got one for you. I know. Do you have any other movies that you can think of to mind for people to watch? Besides the 2 you were saying from the last time, Angel Heart, and I forgot the other one you said.
Cradle of Fear.
Yeah.
Any other horror movies?
Yeah.
Not really, because I don't.
You gotta watch more again.
Yeah, I would have to watch some horror movies and be reminded of them, but I do like Tales from the Crypt.
That works. Tales from the Crypt works. That series works.
Yeah.
Since you said that, I'm gonna say Friday the 13th, the TV series.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason's not in it at all, so if you're expecting Jason in it, don't watch it for Jason because you'll be very disappointed. But what it is, it's like a basically it's a story. All the stories connect, and like it's this family that owns like an artifact museum, let's say, or artifact something.
Mm-hmm.
From what I remember, I haven't watched it in a few months, and like they're trying to get back the stuff that was sold from this place because all the stuff that was sold was cursed. And some of the stuff will give people certain powers to where they'll just do bad with it, obviously, and kill people, whatever
Right.
the case may be. So it's pretty interesting. It's fun.
Okay.
So yeah, if you haven't seen that, go check it out. And again, if you haven't checked out Normal Terror, the trailer or the page, you definitely need to go check that out. Check out the Cinema Attacks podcast. That's my guy Matt. He runs that. Check out there's another horror group besides Horror with Sir Sturdy. Definitely check that out. Check out Joe's House of Horror, and he also has a dope podcast called Three Guys at Horror. Fun ass podcast. Let me see who else. Oh, check out the Graveyard Shift podcast and Facebook group. Another dope podcast, another dope group. So shout out to those guys, Sheldon and Mike. And yeah, I know you guys are thinking, hey, this guy's always shouting out other people, but hey, that's the way the horror community grows. That's the way the horror community, sticks together. You just gotta give everybody some love. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not about self. I'm about the growth for the whole horror community and all that. And hey, they'll shout me out here and there. I'll shout them back out, and I just do it just because again, I want everybody to grow. So, with that being said, you got anything else you want to say?
No,
about
I
this?
think we pretty much covered it.
You good?
Yep.
All right. Well, on that note, ladies and gents, thank you for listening to this episode. Thank you for the support. And yeah, if this podcast is out before the con, for those of you who listen to the podcast, hopefully I see you at the Scaricon next weekend at the Turning Stone. If it's out after the con, well, hopefully I seen you there, and hopefully you come on the podcast one day. And another thing is, for those of you who I won't see in person at these cons or whatever, if you would like to be on this podcast, you can send me an email at horrorwithsir.sturdy@gmail.com. Again, that's horrorwithsir.sturdy@gmail.com. And just send me an email. Let me know who you are, and just say, hey, I'd like to be on the podcast. And give me like 2 or 3 movies you'd want to do. That way, if I've already done those movies, we won't redo that movie. Or if I have the movie to the side on the list, with that I'm getting ready to do with somebody else. So you have a couple options. Or we can just have a random horror chat. Or we can even game or something. So yeah, just hit me up on the Gmails. And you can also find me. Go check out my Horror with Sir Sturdy Facebook group and my Horror with Sir Sturdy Facebook page. I am going to start doing videos again between YouTube and Facebook and all that good stuff. It might not be till after the con or right before the con, during the con maybe even. So yeah, check it out. Keep enjoying the horror. Keep it staying awesome. And as always, I'll see you in your nightmares. Oh, and I told you guys yesterday to bring the hot sauce. Bring some chicken with that too, please. Thank you.